True story, I road tested a new radio technology by driving a 30-minute route, over and over, all day. The audio engineer was clever, and put the Beatles' Hey Jude on a tight loop. The song starts off with, Hey Jude. After 90 seconds, Paul pauses for a couple of seconds, and starts again, Hey Jude. The maniac engineer looped it perfectly, so that the second Hey Jude was replaced exactly by the beginning of the song again. It was an infinite Beatles loop. My brain could not grasp that the song would not end. I heard that one song, 90 seconds repeating over and over, for 8 hours a day, all week until the job was done. I did not climb up the guy's rose trellis, break into his bedroom, and murder him in his sleep. We're actually still friends. But I can't hear that song anymore, without getting a tic and an urge to drive a test van into a bridge abutment. Also, in response to a question, no, I could not just turn down the volume. We were testing a broadcast technology, and a marker of problems would be any kind of problem with the audio. Which was Hey Jude. All freaking day. It was literally my job to listen.
Take a sad song, and make it better.
Come over here and say that. After a long day of work, 12 hours in a kitchen more or less, I am nearly imploding after hearing the same 2 to 3 hours of music on an XM radio channel. I couldn't imagine half of Hey Jude for 8 hours. I'd have a manic episode.
At least it wasn't the screamy half.
I used to go shopping at a major grocery store in Japan. They played one song, and one song only, over and over. It was, if you are going to San Francisco, be sure to wear flowers in your hair. I don't know how those workers survived, as it made me crazy for just the 15 minutes I was in there.
I think I just threw up a little in my mouth.
Who let the dogs out? But the only part that plays is, Who let the dogs out, and none of the rest of the song. There's a rest of the song?
My children have discovered this song, by no fault of my own. Several times a day I hear, Alexa, play Who Let the Dogs Out. Alexa even understands when my 3-year-old requests it, despite most of his speech being somewhat incomprehensible. It truly is torturous.
Achy breaky hot.
I'm a manager in a kitchen. There was a couple months last year. Every time there was a mistake on an order I played achy breaky hard.
No words can describe how much utter disdain I have in my soul for that song, and Billy Ray Cyrus.
I worked security for his concert in Austin when that song was popular. He played that song probably 8 times, I think he only had 4 songs at the time. He played it a couple of times normal, but other times they were different, a polka, a waltz, etc.
How did he make it worse? We really need to try Billy Ray Cyrus for crimes against humanity. Or at least crimes against music.
Kanye West singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Wait, is that a thing?
It exists, and it's horrific.
Yes, it's nightmare fuel.
We built this city. Yeah, good luck getting that out of your head today.
What kind of music built this city?
Let me check, I'm pretty sure it was built on rock and roll.
The Titanic song. I don't give a damn at this point if your heart stops going on Celine.
I sat with a friend at the bar on a busy Friday night, trying to see who could play the worst song on the jukebox. That song won, by a wide margin.
I love when I go out to play pool with friends, and we queue up some good songs on the jukebox, and I sneak off to add some troll songs to the mix. It can be a good way to throw someone off their game when they're on a roll.
Never gonna give you up.
Never gonna let you down.
Never gonna run around and desert you.
Never gonna make you cry.
Never gonna say goodbye.
Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
To build on this, a recording of a song you sang when you were alone at home or in your car. With the backing track removed. Just your earnest voice echoing in eternity. Satan is always recording.
Experimental jazz.
Sobs, I'm married to a jazz mandolin player.
Jazz is stupid, I mean, just play the right notes.
This is the song that never ends, and it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started singing it not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because.
This is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Because hell is eternal.
Stairway to Heaven, on loop, all the instruments behind, 1 to 2 beats. And a kazoo just messing with the whole song.
Your favorite song, but it's sung by an artist you hate. Slightly off key.
I get knocked down, but I get up again, you're never gonna keep me down. Just that part. Forever.
Any Nickelback song, sung by Justin Bieber.
Baby Shark, but it gets increasingly louder and louder, until each day fills with the non-stop sound of Baby Shark do 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 until eventually, you can't take it anymore, and you gouge your eyes.
A karaoke version of you singing I Want to Break Free, while slightly drunk and hitting not a single note.
William Shatner sings The Beatles.
This is the song that gets on everybody's nerves, everybody's nerves, everybody's nerves. This is the song that gets on everybody's nerves, and this is how it goes. Repeating endlessly.
I worked in a call center for one of the American Big Three automakers in the late 1990s. This was a special ring of hell, because they had their own radio station, meaning that there was some centralized DJ who had a select list of songs that would play in every office and car dealership of this manufacturer nationwide all day long. There were a handful of songs that could be depended upon to be played 2 to 3 times a day, sometimes even hourly. The 3 most often played were Blondie's Heart of Glass, Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On, and Jewel's Foolish Games. To this day, just hearing the opening chords of any of these 3 songs will send me into a homicidal rage, and I have to immediately turn it off.
Jewel's Foolish Games. Who the hell greenlit that as part of the playlist to engage customers? Hi. What kind of car are you looking for today? These foolish games are tearing me apart. You know what? Never mind, I'm just going to go sit in my Cavalier and contemplate where I am in life.
Sherry, Sherry baby. Just this. Over. And. Over. For all eternity.
My mother-in-law is named Sherry. Thank you for awakening my personal hell.
In a similar vein, when I was in 10th grade, late 90s, for some reason a very loud girl sitting near me was telling her friends some kind of story involving Love Shack by the B-52s. I had a terrible migraine, and she kept screaming the end of the song over and over. More than 20 years later I can still hear her shriek reverberating through my skull when I have the misfortune to hear the song again.
Oh, my neighbors are gonna have to hear this like 5 times in a row now just to get it out of my head.
Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight, but it loops back just before the epic drum bit.
Okay, at first I was ready to throw hands, but reading the second half I audibly gasped. You're a monster.
I feel certain that hell has a sus-studio level.
Was in a long taxi ride in China a few years back. I don't speak Mandarin well at all, so I didn't really realize that the song on the radio was on repeat, until the 3rd roll. By the 6th, I thought I must be crazy. The driver was nodding along, singing along softly now and then. Repeat. Repeat. This went on for almost 3 hours. And the worst part was that it was one of those cheesy ballads, where 90% was in Chinese, and then the chorus would switch to English, Because I love your big heart, something like this, I can't remember, and then back to Mandarin. The driver spoke no English. I didn't have my headphones with me. Great memory. What's New Pussycat by Tom Jones?
Doctor, what's wrong with me? You have Tom Jones syndrome. Is it rare? It's not unusual.
My manager at a restaurant I used to work at would play that song on a loop when we were closing to get people to leave.
Ha, just pure evil.
I just listened to the song once, and I will never make the mistake a second time.
Someone did this at a bar restaurant I was at one time, except it was Mambo No. 5. I bet we heard it a dozen times, complete with the song change up near the end to give us false hope. The worst part was that the waitress disappeared once she took our food order. We were left in some sort of foodless, beerless, Mambo No. 5 purgatory for almost an hour.
I was put on hold with a pet product company and they had this song looping. Not the whole song, just the title. Can confirm it was hell.
Friday from Rebecca Black, and You're Beautiful from James Blunt.
Played at the same time, for maximum effect.
Rebecca Black singing You're Beautiful, and James Blunt singing Friday.
Whole new level of suffering. I understand how a song can drive you nuts. When I first went to college, I stayed in a dorm building that was 9 floors. We stayed on the 7th floor. There was a period of about a week and a half, where all my roommate and I heard, was the same rhythm and beat over and over again. 3 deep beats over and freaking over. After a week, we got so annoyed we started looking for the culprits to ask them to stop playing the same song incessantly. Problem was, our neighbors didn't hear the song and none of them were playing it. Intrigued, they joined us on our hunt. It is an odd feeling to not hear the whole of a song, just the beats repeat themselves, and it was driving me crazy. It didn't happen all the time, but it was repeated so often and for so long I couldn't stand it. So, we went up and down the floors trying to hear where the repetitive beats originated. 3 floors directly below us a couple girls were playing the Whisper song by the Yin Yang Twins on repeat. I hate that song even though I never really got the chance to hear it in its full glory, because the beat tormented me for over a week.
I had to look the song up because I had not ever heard it before. That song is dumb.
Thank you. It is dumb. I hate that song.
Retail workers who have sinned, will hear Christmas music for all eternity.
Retail workers have already completed their penance. I vividly remember the day working at a department store thinking, if I hear Little Drummer Boy one more time, the next thing going pa-ra-per pom-pom, will be an AR-15.
One year, Target had this holiday display by the entrance that played part of Joy to the World, 3 Dog Night version, whenever anyone walked near it. That thing would go off constantly. It was so awful that so many people complained, and they told stores not to bother changing the battery once it died. Pretty sure everyone took the battery out that day.
I counted one year, there are 15 different covers of Blue Christmas. I had to listen to all of them on a loop, every night at work. By the time I heard Elvis singing it, I knew the loop was restarting. I effing hate Blue Christmas.
Christmas music is the break of some retail workers. A lot of shops in the UK have a kind of royalty-free station, where they play like 5 songs on a loop for 10 months of the year. It's horrendous.
Nobody deserves this.
Oh, it's great being a manager in retail at Christmas time. I deny any request to play Christmas music. I'm an absolute Grinch, except when the bosses come around and ask why it's not on. I turn it on till they leave, and for 1 or 2 days before Christmas. That's all any retail worker can take.
I worked retail for less than a year, but it was during Christmas. I refuse to listen to that music, and it's been 20 years since I had that job.
There is a shopping mall in Bangkok, in which one of the departments play a knockoff version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on a constant loop. I visited this shopping center 2 weeks later, and it was still playing the same haunted loop. I have been in hell. It's hot, humid, and they sell sunglasses for 100 baht each.
Well friends, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments below what your own soundtrack to hell would be. Personally, the idea of eternity listening to Stairway to Heaven, with added kazoo, is the stuff of nightmares. See you next time.